you to peel and stick. Do you just dread installing it? How about on the ceiling? Would you do this? We have to put it on the ceiling. We have to put it on this wall over here behind the door. And we have to put it behind me. Don't be afraid to peel and stick. I'm going to show you how to handle this. Get familiar with this, because unfortunately this is new and upcoming, and the companies keep improving on it instead of discarding the plans for manufacturing more of it. So we have to get familiar with it, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So we have two rolls opened up, and we can see that it's a drop match. Can anybody tell me how we know that? Can anybody see it? Well, if you look at the left side, our side, right, the lower part of your screen, we have this, and look how much further the second roll has to open up in order to accommodate the pattern on the lower part of your screen. So that means we have a drop match. It's not a straight match. If it were a straight match, the pattern would meet every 10 or 20, whatever the repeat on the pattern is. But here we not only have a repeat, but we have a drop match repeat, which means you have to order more wallpaper when you're calculating for wallpaper, but that's another video. But you will use less wallpaper if you use two rolls, particularly with a drop match, because where you have to cut this if you were only to use one, if you cut it every time you had to based on your needs of your wall or ceiling, you would see that you have to cut a lot more off of this than you would if you used simply a second roll. Okay, now the wallpaper came with a very tacky piece of tape on the wallpaper, so I'm consigning this to scrap. I don't want this in my project, so I made it part of waste. And I'm going to start my pattern about here. And all I need is 50 inches. So I come down and I'm going to cut this pattern at the 50-inch mark. Okay? And I'm going to cut 3 panels that are 50 inches. Now notice, I am not taking off this backing. Oh no, we're not touching the backing yet. That's still intact. Okay? Remember, when I make it to Congress, we're going to outlaw peel and stick, you and I together. Now, when you're on a ladder, it's very difficult to determine on a pattern like this, hey, where's my pattern connection? And so I'm marking it. Here's my connection right here, so that when I get this up on the ladder and I'm looking at this or something over here, it's hard to find it. Save yourself time, mark the pattern where it meets. So and now I have my panel 1. If you see it's numbered, that's 2. And now there's not going to be any confusion. All I need is a third piece where that end connects to the next piece I'm going to cut. And we'll all have it easily in order. Now, we have to get that backing off. And this is where you need your patience. Unless you want to pay a helper, which will increase the price of your labor and may cause you to lose the job, use these tools to act as your helper. They don't take cigarette breaks. They don't get calls from their wives. They don't moan about the work, and they don't leave early. Hold it down with those and pull your backing back. Now you're going to get a lot of static electricity, and so just make sure you're wearing shoes. Now what happens if, if you get something on here? Or what happens if this touches this? We'd be in trouble, right? Am I a daredevil? Am I actually going to attempt to do that? Don't do it, Spencer. Oh no. Oh no. Did he actually just do that? Yes, he did. And before you attempt to do this, do not be ridiculous. You'd be silly not to do that. That's right. Put some paste on that. You cannot do this and drive yourself nuts. Here's how we're gonna do it. So I have my Bosch laser level in place, showing me the first line on my ceiling. That's going to serve as a guide for my first panel of wallpaper on the ceiling. Sometimes while you're working, believe it or not, due to either poor preparation or an error in preparation, the substance with which the person prepared the ceiling has given way to the pulling on of my wallpaper. So now, rather than void this area, it's very important, put that back up, glue it in place, and just see, that's paint. You're thinking it's wallpaper, but it's actually paint. Get that in there. Believe it or not, that's paint. And I'll use my thumb to push out those air pockets. But that takes up space, and if you void that, you'll see a void under your wallpaper. Okay, it's back in place. That's enough to expose. You don't want to get into a situation. See, I have the clamps down, but if they should give way and this sticks to this, this isn't like my last video. That material was superior. It's almost like the bottom of a pool, the material I hung last week, and I titled the video, "What happens if your peel and stick gets stuck?" or something to that effect. This would not work the same. If this gets stuck, we're in trouble, because this is paper almost with just a tacky backing. The other material was threaded, and it was evident by the cuts. When I had to cut it at the bottom, I saw threads. This is just sticky paper. Before I lay this paper out and put it where it goes next to the other one, I leave a space as I'm unrolling the panel, because it is very difficult when you get too close to it to push it this way. I leave a space so that it's a lot easier for me. You agree?
Something to drink, Spencer?
How about a cold water?
Yeah, or I have body armor.
What's that?
You ever tried that?
No.
It's good stuff. All healthy.
All right.
I'm gonna put one on the counter right here behind you.
Thank you.
Give it a go.
They love me. Come on, man. What's going on? You're making me look bad on video. You're supposed to make it look easy. I'm a superstar on YouTube. Just kidding. Yesterday I posted all these videos that I had in my archives waiting to be published, you know? I just took a break from video making. Life is more important than making videos. So, yesterday I said, I'm gonna do it. And so I did it. Now let me show you my seam, which is, in peel and stick I would say the biggest challenge is your seams. Believe it or not, they're very stubborn to go back. If you get them too close, let me show you. Let me show you what I mean. So remember I said I'd leave a space, and now I bring it all together. But make sure this is wet so that it slides, you know? You don't want to put too much friction on this material because in my experience I have found I have to work peel and stick seams a lot more than others. And peel and stick, I've reported to my YouTube watchers, is, like for example, look at the perfection there. Meets up, right? Just 10 inches down. And you know, there's no torque on it. If there were, I wouldn't even show you this part of the video. You see perfection here and just above it? This is typical of peel and stick. And it makes me, you know, as a paper hanger where we bank on perfection. It's what makes us happy. Weird enough, right? Perfection here, perfection there. We just have to join, we have to just join the seams. And so I'm pursing the seams, you see that? It's like somebody's lips, squeezing them together. Believe it or not, that'll go back. And so when you purse them, it's better than being too far away if they're on top of each other, at least initially, just initially. See that? We'll keep working them. Tempted to leave that corner like that. And then in a month, I'll get a call back that it pulled away and I'll regret it. Always cut the corner. You can't even tell that it's cut. You see how we leave that little flap there? And it tucks under this one? If you didn't have it, and your corner goes off for a few inches or maybe even a foot, you'll see the corner. You want to have that flap, and so you need to cut it. In the corner, pull away. In the corner, pull away.